Here's a really cool thing about this YouTube channel is I give zero fucks. I give zero fucks about what happens to this thing. It's weird because like I know that I eventually want to get into YouTube, and I think it's like smart. It's smart to it's smart to just start posting now. And even Dan Coe said in a Q and A was, and he told me that you should just start posting now. Like even if it's just like turning on your camera and talking for a little bit, that's fine. Just start posting now. Feed that algorithm, and that that's exactly what I've been doing. And I've gotten to like 12 YouTube videos, and it's not like it's funny because like I literally have no goal except to just I just turned this shitty webcam in my laptop on. There's no mic, there's no talking, and I just start talking. Well, whatever it is that I feel like talking about. And it has helped tremendously. It has helped tremendously because I have so many things going on in my head, so many things that are happening at once, and then this is actually my time to relax because I could just not have any expectations. And I want you guys to try and apply that. I'd love for you guys to apply that to a lot of your life for whoever's watching this or for myself. It's so useful to just be able to be light about things. I was talking to Jack Moses, and he told me to apply that basically, like treat it like play. And Alan Watts, treat it like play. There's no reason for us to have our expectations so like high about these things. It's like, dude, just turn on the fucking camera and start talking. There's no reason why you need to set all these weird expectations for yourself because that's how you just never have any fun. That's how you have never any fun. So honestly, I encourage you, if to anyone out there, I encourage you to really just start just be allowing yourself to be imperfect, allowing yourself to be shit at something because you are. And I mean, dude, look at the quality of this video. It's garbage, man. And like I stutter, I I twitch, I do all these weird things about scratching my face all the time, and here I am, I'm posting it. And this isn't some like virtue signaling type thing. I mean, just literally, don't be afraid. Well, you can be afraid, but like, how do I say this? Be okay with taking imperfect action. You don't need all the fancy equipment. You don't need to do all that to start, right? You just need to start. That's all that really matters. Is that you just need to start. Because I promise you, I fucking promise you. Like I saw a screenshot of Dan Coe's Twitter when he just had 500 followers. Fucking crazy, right? Isn't that fucking crazy? That Dan Coe at one point had only 500 followers, and now the dude has like millions across all his platforms. You have to remember, these guys, once upon a time, started from zero. They started from zero. And even Hamza, even Mr. Beast. I think Mr. Beast, like his first year, Jimmy, took like a year just to get to 20 subscribers. Or was it 100? I don't know. But I'm telling you, he did not come out of the womb with like 250, almost 500 million, 340 million subscribers across all platforms. I fucking promise you, they started from zero too. And to be quite honest, I don't think there's actually such thing as a true zero. There's not. There's not actually true zero. You right now, whether you're 13 or you're 10 or 20, like think about how much experience, how many experiences you've already had at the age of 10. Think about how much fucking data that you have in your head for all those years of just fucking around, whatever it is. Because I started a YouTube channel when I was 10 and I was already making videos. I literally did a tour of my mom's childhood home in the Philippines when I was there. And that's the joy of it, man. That's the joy of it is you can create and you don't have to wait until you are like this awesome individual or this awesome like or this crazy hybrid athlete who's running sub 240 marathons and being a bodybuilder and doing powerlifting like Nick Bear. You don't have to do that. You could start now and you could share the journey of you getting to become a hero on that way because people want to participate in that. People want to be a part of the journey, right? It's the same reason why we read books. why we read fiction books, why we love our fictional characters, why we love Attack on Titan, why we love all these things. And look, man, I'm telling you, it's like I went from 17 followers on Threads, and I grew that thing to 1,250 followers. And it took me 9 months. It took me 9 months to get to that point, to get to 1,000 followers. And I'm telling you, man, like I just got like 250 followers, almost 200 followers in the past like 3 days, and I got almost 100 new subs into my newsletter. And it took me 9 months to get to 40 subscribers on my newsletter, and within 3 days I got basically 100 subscribers. When you put in enough consistent effort into something and you don't see anything happening, that's because nothing is actually not happening. What's actually happening is you're getting better and better and better at all these this complex, intricate web of skills that once they reach this certain point, they all like come together and boom, things start happening. And actually, this is actually how it plays out in real life. You think that progress is like this linear thing, right? It's like this nice straight line, and it may seem that way because that's just kind of like how we humans kind of think about time, right? It's kind of hard for us to imagine like these exponential curves, and that's not really how it works. If you've read Ray Kurzweil's Singularity, you would know that it really doesn't work that way. Progress has never worked that way. What happens is you have like a whole lot of nothing, and then boom, you start shooting up. What happened? All the things had to come together, like, and then boom, it just shot up. But then what happens is after the exponential, it starts to flatten out again, and then boom, and then boom, and then boom. It's almost like these staircases where you enter these periods of exponential growth, and then it kind of flattens out, and then you have to kind of you got to hit the next ceiling, right? And it's just a process of breaking through the next ceiling and the next ceiling and the next ceiling and the next. And every entrepreneur, like you can see it, like basically like the first ceiling that you have to break ever. I mean, you can make a lot of arguments for it. It could be your first dollar. It could be the first $100,000 is usually the hardest, right? Like if you hear that from every rich person ever, the first 100K is the hardest, and it's true. And it's true. I mean, I haven't even landed any money yet. I haven't made that kind of money yet. But you can see, like, once you're in the game and you finally understand the enormity of the things that you have to do and the skills and the everything that you have to learn. You're like, fuck. No wonder why it's so hard. But that's also why, if you are willing to stick through it, there's an exceeding amount of people who are simply not willing to put in that much work. So there's not a lot of competition once you get through it, right? There's not a lot of people competing against it. And it's a really interesting thing from Hamza. You're not competing against normal people, man. At this point, once you've made it far enough, you're competing against like these people who decided to put in this work. And there's not a lot of people who do that. There's a very, very, very small percentage of the population who do that. Think about in LinkedIn, for example, there are almost like a couple billion users on that thing, or social media in general. There's like billions of users across it, but the amount of creators on it are only in the millions. So it's literally orders of magnitude more consumers than producers on those platforms. So think of how much leverage you can if you just started producing stuff, and you got a little bit better each day, a little bit better, and a little bit better, a little bit better. That's what separates the people who are just posting and the people who actually make it somewhere. Is they're getting a little bit better, a little bit better. And some people just give up too soon because the timeline, they're not used to the timelines that you think of when you're in this game, right? Like your minimum unit for measuring progress, at least in regards to time, has to be at least 1 year. That is the minimum unit. In fact, I would even extend that to maybe 18 months to 2 years. Like 1 year, like 6 months, especially in the beginning, is honestly meaningless. It's honestly a meaningless meaningless unit of measurement for time, because you need that time. You need that time for you to learn skills and for them to come together and compound. So all that to say, look, man, let's kind of circle back to the original thing and kind of tie it all back together. That this all starts with taking imperfect action, because there's no amount of thinking that can think you out of a hole, right? I mean, and there is a time to think, but a lot of the time, especially in the beginners, like Alex Hormozi says, like you should be biased towards action in the beginning. And as you get better, as your skills compound and all these sorts of things, like Warren Buffett, he doesn't do that much these days because he's thinking. He's thinking. But in the beginning, the thinking doesn't do anything for you, right? Because what are you doing? You're basically trying to go off of data, but you have no fucking data as a beginner. You have zero. Maybe not zero, but you have very little. So you need to go out there and gather data, and that means taking action. Peace.